Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about one of the most important topics in embryology, blastocyst. You may have heard this word several times or it may be new to you, but don't worry, through the talk today I'm going to highlight some of the main aspects of blastocyst. So today we'll be covering types of embryos, what is a blastocyst, types of blastocyst, and the pros and cons of taking your embryos to blastocyst stage. Now let's begin with types of embryos. So embryo, as we had highlighted in my previous talk, is a combination of the sperm and the egg. Now this embryo, depending on the day of development, can be day 2, day 3, wherein it is cell stage. So basically it will have these tiny circles inside, or it can be day 5 or day 6, which is known as a blastocyst. So this day of development on day 5 or day 6 is known as the blastocyst. Embryos which are on day 2 and day 3 are known as cleavage stage embryos, and on day 5 and day 6 is blastocyst. So to give you a perspective, our today's talk is going to only be about the blastocyst, which is embryo development on day 5 and day 6. So let's concentrate on the day 5 embryo, which is a blast. We fondly call it blast, so through the talk if I refer to it as blast, don't be surprised, it's the same thing. So a blastocyst is an embryo which has differentiated into two cell lines. To simply put it, what that means is that until now, like I was showing you that embryo just had cells, so each cell has the potential basically to form an arm, a leg, an eye when the embryo implants. But when you reach a blastocyst stage embryo, it differentiates into two cell lines. So this is one cell line which is known as trophectoderm or the TE, and this is the ICM, which is the inner cell mass, or like I just said, ICM. This is something which when implants into your uterus, the trophectoderm will form the placenta and the ICM will form the baby. So what happens once the embryo reaches a blastocyst stage is that there are two separate cell lines. Now that is what is a blastocyst, and we've covered types of embryos. Let's look at types of blastocyst. So what happens is, as soon as the embryo development hits day 5, you will see that the embryo is at a stage wherein it's something called as an early blast, also known as EB. It could be cavity blast, also known as CB, or it could be this what I've drawn here, that's an expanded blast, XB, or expanded blast. And there is a last stage which is known as hatching blast. Simply to put it, HB. So let's just see them one by one. So early blast is a stage wherein the embryo starts getting bigger, but there is no cavity. It's just like a lot of cells, and the cavity is just this much. So you can see like a notch, like you can make out that the cavity will begin any minute, not minute but like in a few hours, but it is still in the early stage, therefore it's an early blast. Cavity blast is the stage wherein you can start seeing the the trophectoderm like and a hint of ICM. It's not so clear sometimes, but you can see that this cavity is getting bigger. So what was small here is starting to expand. So that's known as a cavity blast. As embryologists, we are able to grade this because we are able to spot the cavity. Then comes the next stage where it's the expanded blast. So you can even notice here that the size has gotten bigger and the cavity is expanded. So this is what is a good blast, like an expanded blast. Here we grade the trophectoderm and ICM properly. The grading is done based on the expansion. So what I mean by expansion is, how I said here, it's still small. Here the cavity is enlarging. So the grading is done in numbers based on the expansion, that is 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we grade the ICM and the trophectoderm as A, B, C and D. So there can be a combination of 3, ICM A, trophectoderm B, or C and D, and so on. So basically when we grade a blast, there is an expansion which comes into the picture and the individual grading of the ICM and the trophectoderm. A and B are considered definitely good grade embryos. C is always a maybe, and D is something that we never recommend to transfer, because that means that one of the cell lines, either the ICM or the trophectoderm, is missing. Now the last stage, which is the hatching blast, what that happens is that in the blast it starts hatching, as the name suggests. So the trophectoderm starts coming out, and this is very necessary. A blast needs to hatch for it to stick. So to give you a perspective, like say if this is your hatching, this is the lining of the uterus, it needs to start coming off the protective layer or the protective boundary, which is the zona. So it starts hatching, and once it sticks on it, like the hatching blast, that's when we say that the patient is pregnant. So these were the types of blast. And now coming to pros and cons, that is why should you opt for a blastocyst transfer, or should you take your embryos to blastocyst stage? That is a little bit of a dilemma. Most often the clinicians and the embryologists do discuss with you. So I'm just going to tell you the pros and cons, so that the decision of whether to take the blastocyst or whether to take your embryos to blast stage becomes a little bit easier. So the stages, when I was explaining, these stages we see between day 5 and day 6, and accordingly a call is taken on their freezing or transferring, depending on when they fully expand. So now coming to the pros, that is the advantage of a blastocyst embryo. So one of the biggest advantages that it's right time, right place. It's very simple to understand this. Right time, right place. So think of this. I'm just going to draw a very rough diagram, so please don't judge me. Here I'm trying to draw, basically this is your uterus. There is your endometrium lining here. That's the lining where we want the embryo to attach. These are the fallopian tubes. And here this is the ovary. Okay, so what happens is, basically in a natural conception, when the egg is released, the sperm meets the egg here and the embryo starts developing in the tubes and it starts coming down. So here the embryo, when it's developing, it's in day 2 and day 3 stage. That's the cleavage stage, if you remember. And it comes down only when it starts to form a blastocyst stage. So in a normal cycle, when couples conceive naturally, the embryo development is something like this, wherein the blastocyst is, the embryo only becomes a blast when it reaches the uterus. So now when we are doing an IVF, imagine putting a cleavage stage embryo. We will put it in the uterus, the day 2, day 3, but technically in a normal human conception, it's still in the tubes. So the embryo floats in the uterus for 2 days until it reaches a blast. Now here it may or may not reach a blast, but we will never know. So when we essentially do a blast transfer, we are putting the blast where it should be. So it should be a blast, day 5, day 6 blastocyst should be in the uterus, and that is exactly where we are placing our blast in an IVF cycle. That's why the chances of conception are higher. And the second advantage is that it's an advanced stage of embryo development. So this is the most advanced stage till where we can keep the embryo in the blast. It helps us get more information that whether after transferring a blast, if the cycle is negative, we know that the embryos were reaching the blastocyst state, so we can look at something else. With what happens with a day 2 or day 3 cleavage stage transfer is that we don't know whether this embryo has progressed to blast, so we don't know the reason of a negative result. So advanced embryo, and it gives us more information. This, according to me, is very critical in analyzing, diagnosing, and moving forward with your cycle. Now with everything comes disadvantages, and there is a disadvantage associated with taking your embryos to blastocyst. The biggest disadvantage is that your embryos, your expectation may be that a lot of embryos will reach blast, but that is something which is a natural selection, and not all may reach. What I mean is that suppose you have on day 3 you have 6 embryos. I'm just going to draw like a very rough thing. 6 embryos, and this is grade A, this is C, this is B, this is D, B and C. Now what may happen is that this may not form a blast, this may form a blastocyst, example, a good blast. This may form a blast, but it is a C grade blast. This may again not form, and this may form a blast. So if you see, out of 6 we have something wherein 3 have formed and 3 haven't. That's a 50% probability of blastulation, which is what is realistic. So the disadvantage can be that the quantity may not be as per your expectation, and sometimes it does happen that the embryos don't reach blast at all. So even if you have 1, 2, 3 or even 10, it can be that they don't reach blast, because this happens because the embryo self selects, and the embryo decides whether it has the capability to go forward or not. So even in this disadvantage, I feel it's good, because you know whether your gametes, whether your embryos have the potential to reach blast. If not, we can look at more options of what more to do. Having said that, for your embryos to reach blast, please ensure that the clinic that you are at is very confident with their culture, with how they grow the embryos, because taking the embryos to blastocyst depends a lot on the laboratory health or how the lab is performing. So a good embryologist, a good culturing system is the cornerstone of a good laboratory wherein you get good blast. If you ask my opinion, I would always recommend taking your embryos to blastocyst if you're confident with the clinic you're at, because it just gives more information and helps you reach your dream of parenthood faster. I hope that helped. Please comment below for any questions that you may have, and we'll reach out to you as soon as possible. Thank you.